I think it was. Did it exceed my expectations? To answer your direct question, yes. Did I think it was pretty good? Yeah, I thought it was watchable because I watched, and I didn't think I was going to watch. And you know how I've ripped it.
Yeah.
Is this enough for me? No, but I found it interesting. I did.
Okay. So if the question is, did it exceed my expectations? The answer is no, because I had no expectations because it is a made-up game.
Okay.
It exists on NBC to bridge between the Winter Olympics in the early afternoon and in the prime time, situation for them. That's why it was on. I don't like games that go 12 minutes and then you move to the next game like musical chairs. I don't like that. If you're going to play the United States against the world, play it for 48 and make it meaningful.
Sort of
and this was not 48 and it was not meaningful. Now, was there stuff that was exciting? Kawhi Leonard went for 31 points in 12 minutes. Come on. 31 points. He's
great.
Not even on the original All-Star team. They have to put him on because he didn't make it, and they put him on because he's the only representative from that building. So that is to be applauded, 31. But he was so pooped after that he had 1 point in the next game. The old heads, as Kevin Durant referred to his team, started out 0 for 9 in the championship game, and that was not watchable.
Let's not call it a championship.
That was not competitive at all.
Yeah.
Did some players play hard? Yes. Was there a little bit of defense? Yes. Did it look like they were trying, some of them? Yes,
there were fouls.
Yeah, but
there was defense, there were steals, there were
Luka
deflections.
And Jokic didn't play at all, basically. They played 5 minutes. Steph Curry looked great in a sweatsuit, but he wasn't going to go out there. I believe, Mike, as you believe, that there is a possibility, there's a runway towards the United States versus the world game. If you look at the NHL, is it called the Four Seasons Cup or something like that? The NBA needs to do that.
Four nations. Adam won't do it, Tone. I agree with a lot of what you said here. By the way, every basketball conversation we have, you're going to get so tired of me doing this. Years ago, it was the Lakers. You would start in January saying, are we going to talk Lakers every day? And I'd say, yeah, Tone, we are. Yeah. Are we going to talk Wembanyama every day? Yeah, we are. Because Wembanyama and Ant-Man set the tone for this. Wembanyama said, I'm going to play. I don't care what you old heads do, Tony. He is the most important person in the sport. Basketball.
I don't want to go on and on with this story, but I will tell you this. He wasn't in the final game. All right? In the final game, the meaningful game.
He played well.
But he wasn't in it.
No, he wasn't.
So he's off to the side. And I said
40 minutes,
seasons,
not 48.
Because that is my hotel of choice.
Yeah. 40 minutes, not 48. You want to do 48.
Just make it meaningful. This is not meaningful.
We agree. We start off the show agreeing. It's usually not good for the energy. But we're going to turn, no matter what, to the events at the Winter Olympics. The U.S. women's hockey team pounded Sweden today 5-0 to make the gold medal game. Over in the men's, both the U.S. and Canada rolled undefeated through the weekend. And in skiing, Michaela Schifrin failed to medal in her 8th straight Olympic race after placing 11th in Sunday's giant slalom. She races the slalom Wednesday. So, Tone, you take it away for as long as you want.
Yeah.
Which storyline interests you the most?
I'm going to leave the hockey to you because I know you love it and I know you watch. I want to say something in a general way about the Winter Olympics. The thing that attracts me to the Winter Olympics is the ever-present physical danger to the athletes. Not in curling, not in hockey, not in figure skating, but in sliding, in skiing, in jumping. You look at these people on the skeleton, on the sleds, and you say they could kill themselves.
Miles per hour is amazing.
They could kill themselves.
I'll give you that.
You look at the half pipe, which neither of us understands. But they're up in the air. If they fall badly onto the ice, they could crack their heads open. I'm not prepared for skiing in which you hit a ridge and suddenly you're doing double somersaults backwards in the air. So for me, this is not like the Summer Olympics we understand. The Summer Olympics works like this. Does Usain Bolt get to the tape first? Right? It's not a lot of judgment.
No.
Does he get to the tape first? But I will say, thrilled by the scary danger that I see in the Winter Olympics.
The daredevil nature makes me admire it.
Yeah.
I'm not quite as fascinated by it as you are. I'm just going to mention a couple of names, Tony, and I don't even have the glasses today. Deanna Stiletto Dudek, the Canadian figure skater. I'm going to try to do it without. I may snatch
because you're failing at the moment.
42 years old. She was
yeah.
gone
Yeah.
for 16 years and comes back at 42 and does this. I found that amazing, not Daredevil. And Elena Myers-Taylor, who went to GW around the corner from this studio, played softball, Tony, then comes back, does the women's monobob. That must be one person on the bobsled, right? And Tony, it's her 6th medal, which puts her out there with everybody, ahead of everybody except Bonnie Blair, who you and I both covered in the Winter Olympics. So those two things.
I will tell you this,
and the hockey.
We fixate on Lindsey Vonn and Michaela Schifrin and the quad guard. And as a father, and I know you feel the same way, I felt terrible for him.
Yes.
But I'm learning new names. Jordan Stoltz, for example, as a speed skater.
Yep.
And I think it's really cool that Eric Heiden is at the event and watches this kid win in the events that Eric Heiden.
You think those kids realized Eric Heiden's greatness?
No, I don't. But again, I'm drawn to the physical nature of it. What is the danger in the Summer Olympics? That somebody heaves a javelin at you. There's no other particular
We've seen
danger.
a javelin go through somebody's arm.
Understand,
You and I saw that.
But in these events, you have to marvel at them.
I do, but you got to start watching the hockey. It's serious now. Canada has outscored the opponents like 20-3, and the U.S. is on a 16-5.
Everyone is expecting Canada and the United States. Let's move to golf. Let's move to golf. And the great theater at Pebble Beach over the weekend. Colin Morikawa won for the first time in almost 3 years and needed a birdie on 18 to clinch it. Scottie Scheffler had 3 eagles yesterday. What? He's the first pro to ever do that at Pebble. There was wind, there was rain, there was drama. It was basically perfect, Will, but I know you watched. You know I watched. Let's start with Morikawa. What is the significance of his win?
Well, Tony, I think for Morikawa, who won early and won a couple of majors and certified himself as a star on the tour, and then he hadn't won close a lot, but hadn't won in 2.5 years.
It's Jordan Spieth. It's the same sort of thing. Win young, win early.
Yes, but it is important, I guess, still for the United States to have one of those guys up there, and Morikawa, for me, is a favorite, just of who he is personally. This is his home state of California. This was kind to him. He's had some successes there. He's charismatic. I just enjoy, he's engaging. I just enjoy Colin Morikawa, and so I was happy for him. Tony, the whole thing had drama. How about when Morikawa's got to wait for a total of 40 minutes for a dude out there on the beach, someplace where you and I would wander to hit a third shot? He's out there.
Let me just start with this. I knew that Scheffler was not going to win when he ended at -20. And I texted you in real time.
22.
I said 22 is going to win, maybe 21, but not 20. And this is when the last group was probably 5 or 6 holes out, and there were 5 guys tied at 20.
Yeah.
Scheffler's round was amazing. Mike, he shot 63 with 3 eagles. He had 3 bogeys. Nobody's ever shot 63 with 3 bogeys. That was great. It's his 18th straight PGA Tour event where he finishes in the top 10. A full year since the Players last year when he didn't wait for the tee shot on 18. Tied with Minwoo Lee. Tied, has to wait because there's 2 groups out there. Then after he hits his tee shot, he has to wait 20 more minutes.
That's right.
Because Jacob Bridgman has got his feet in the Pacific Ocean and the ball on the sand waiting for a ruling. And if it fell to you and me like it took 40 more minutes, because it did. And so here is Morikawa needing to birdie, needing to hit a second great shot. Butterflies in his system, all the pressure in the world on him, and he does it.
Holding a 4-iron.
And he does it. And I would say that if he ever asks you, can I get a reference letter from you, you say, it's you on 18.
Yeah.
That's the reference. And this is, Americans know 2 courses, foot by foot, Augusta and Pebble. And Augusta had.
I mean, it's not an indoor studio where you were last week.
I like that, but this is the real deal. And by the way, did I mention this?
What?
That Anthony Kim,
who had not won
since
in 16 years.
Since 2010, he won an event. So if you think Morikawa waited a long time, 2010. Wow. Let's take a break. But coming up, Tyler Reddick wins Daytona, but is the real headline that Michael Jordan's team did.
I think we know that. Things didn't sound so hunky-dory between Bryce Harper and Dave Dombrowski.
It was a fabulous golf tournament. Day after day after day. It's fabulous.
Beach.
That's just great.
That's why I can't watch in a dome. I can't watch what you doing.
Wait, you don't like people hitting balls into a bed sheet? You don't like that? I like that.
Review.
I know, I love it.
You were like the sideline wine expert. What are you doing?
Let's find out what's rankling the riffraff in mail time. I'll get the first one.
Man,
you need
going
glasses.
bizarre, riffraff.
You
now.
need glasses? I have glasses.
Nah, I think not.
Should we be more focused on Tyler Reddick winning Daytona or Michael Jordan winning Daytona?
Tyler Reddick is great. He wouldn't even be the most famous Reddick on this show. We could
JJ
probably have
Reddick.
3 or 4 more at least.
Yeah.
Come on. This is Michael Jordan. The two people, when they win in this sport, that we have to just bow, because we know them both, are Joe Gibbs and Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And for Jordan to do this, you should see how excited he was at the end of it. I know you turned over and you watched the end of the race. I did it late because I was streaming. For Jordan to do this, Tony, I have been there when he has performed at this highest level in this new sport. But just this genuine excitement you see from him here in a sport he challenged and said, we can be better. And he was vindicated, right, in court.
Yeah.
So, at least, through settlement. How great is this for Michael Jordan? Keeps winning.
I'm going to leave Jordan to you because, as you know, I recently saw him personally at Grove.
That's right.
You did not, and I did.
Right, I did not.
And I think it's great for the owner, and I think it's great for the driver. That's not my issue. I have another issue in this. I turned over to watch this. It was the endless Jacob Bridgman with his feet in the Pacific Ocean going on and on and on. So I turned over to Daytona. I got very lucky because there were only 3 laps left. So I watched it. In the last lap of that race, twice, not once, twice, there were big wrecks right at the lead that affected the lead, that affected the order. Cars were spinning wildly around. I'm waiting for the yellow flag to drop. Yeah. It doesn't happen. I've never seen this before without the caution flag. They just let them go.
Good.
They let them maneuver their way through the wreckage and the carnage, and they let them go.
Too many late yellows.
I will tell you this. I didn't know what was going on. I was thrilled by it. I loved it. I thought it was great.
You can watch it every year. But Daytona, the Great American Race, it's always on All-Star Sunday.
But they drop the yellow flag, and they didn't do it this time.
Good.
So Tyler Reddick was able to go.
Let somebody who knows how to do this and navigate it, Tyler Reddick.
Telling you,
by the way, I think Brad Daugherty, I shouldn't just credit only Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Wasn't Brad Daugherty?
Absolutely. And they're North Carolinians.
They are.
They grew up with this.
All their lives.
Yes.
Might have been their first love, even.
I think so. I think so.
I had this upside down, but I'm going to go without the glasses.
You're making a
might
mistake.
say something.
Let's see.
Randy.
Let's see, America.
Does everything sound okay to you between Bryce Harper, formerly your boy, and Dave Dombrowski?
Does it sound okay to me? Not at all. We will remember that right at the end of the season, or a little bit afterwards, Dave Dombrowski said of Bryce Harper, he did not have an elite season.
Right.
We're going to have to wait and see, is he still elite or is he just a good player? Bryce Harper didn't say much. Bryce Harper said some stuff yesterday. One thing he said was, I'm not motivated by this kind of stuff. A second thing he said was, I thought we were keeping this stuff in-house. And a third thing he said was, I did not have an elite year. Now, Bryce Harper is a great player with 2 MVPs. He's also 33 years old and probably at the end of his prime. Dave Dombrowski has had, 6,000 jobs as an executive in Major League Baseball.
Pretty good at this one.
And has been really good at most of them. So I'm going to say this to you, Mike. I will not be surprised if by the end of the year, one of these guys is gone from Philadelphia.
I'm going to beat you to it a little bit in terms of timing. It wouldn't surprise me to see Bryce Harper traded before opening day.
Really?
Say Bryce Harper is a dude in the clubhouse.
Yeah, I love him.
Then if you think you're close, and Bryce Harper can still give you, and you hope, he can give you 20 and 80.
Oh, of course he can do that.
25 and 80. I want 25 home runs. What do you have last year, like 17 or something like that? I want 25 home runs minimum from Bryce Harper. If he can give you that, I'd take him.
Yeah.
Because the Phillies are going to be out there anyway. They kept my man, and he's got a few more homers than Bryce Harper.
Schwarber.
Like double.
Yeah.
Like triple.
Schwarber is the most interesting leadoff hitter in baseball other than Ohtani.
Why not place him fourth behind Harper, and it may enhance Harper's
although I guess Trey Turner hits leadoff more than Schwarber now. No, that's a team. But with Bryce Harper there and those guys, they go to the playoffs every year. You cannot find fault specifically with Bryce Harper. He has produced.
By the way, 27 home runs. I undercut him a little bit.
Only by 10.
You know.
The mailbox is empty. Let's take one last break. Still to come, the Dolphins say see ya to Tyreek Hill.
And the harangue from Jerome Tang gets him gone from Kansas State. Did he hit as many as my neighbor? How many did my former neighbor Schwartz hit?
He hit a lot.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when are you going to Grove already? I mean, you should be embarrassed. He's waiting for you.
You have to take like a gift now that he's won.
No, he'll give you a gift.
What?
Happy time, people. Happy 24th birthday, Diego Pavia. The Vanderbilt quarterback led the Commodores to their first 10-win season ever at 10-3 and a top 10 ranking for the first time in 78 years. Although Pavia was listed at 6 feet, he's just a shade under 5'10", Bryce Young's size. After coming in second in the Heisman voting by a wide margin to Indiana's Fernando Mendoza, Pavia had a bad moment, specifically cursing the voters on social media, for which he quickly apologized. Pavia started out at New Mexico Military Institute, leading them to the JUCO National Championship. Then he went to New Mexico State and finally to Vanderbilt. Last season, Pavia had 29 touchdown passes and 8 interceptions on his way to becoming SEC Player of the Year.
He's wearing number 2. That doesn't mean Jeter. It means somebody from Boston College who was about that size, who had a long career, not that impactful. Do we think he can have a Doug Flutie-like existence?
Wasn't he 22 in college, 2 in the pros?
He was 2 in the pros.
Okay, the kid's not in the pros yet. Happy anniversary, Nikola Jokic. Around this day 8 years ago, the Denver big man set the record for the fastest triple-double in NBA history, needing only 14 minutes and 33 seconds of court time to get a triple-double against Milwaukee with 1:54 left in the second quarter. Jokic has 184 regular season triple-doubles, behind only Russell Westbrook's 207. In 70 games last year, Jokic had 34 triple-doubles, and he's ahead of that pace this season with 20 in 39 games, despite a knee injury that kept him out of 16 games. Jokic, who turns 31 this week, is the first player in NBA history with more than 1,000 points, 475 rebounds, 250 made free throws, 75 three.
And you had a choice between Wemby and Joker this postseason. Who would you take?
Oh, I would take Jokic. I know you would not. I'm
not sure.
I would take
Joker
because of
one more
the
time.
accomplishment of his career at this point. He knows how to do it.
Maybe the best player in the league.
Happy trails, Jerome Tang. Kansas State fired its head coach on Sunday, just days after Tang torched his players, saying, among other things, quote, "These dudes do not deserve to wear this uniform. There will be very few of them in it next year," unquote. Tang also said he'd wear a bag on his head if he were a fan. The Mercury reports that the school is trying to fire Tang with cause and not pay him his $18 million buyout. Tang took Kansas State to the Elite Eight in 2023, but is just 1-11 in conference this season. I am surprised by this. I didn't think his offense was that terrible now that players are basically pros.
I told you that day.
I know.
With cause,
I know.
this would happen.
I know.
You can't, Tony, you can't talk about optics and how bad it looks for a university community and a smaller community at that. Can't have it.
Also, a melancholy trails to Robert Duvall. The Academy Award-winning actor passed away yesterday at the age of 95.
Wow.
The Natural was probably Duvall's biggest sports film credit, but he's best known for his roles in classics like To Kill a Mockingbird, Network, Apocalypse Now, and the TV adaptation of Lonesome Dove. And, of course, he was Tom Hagen in The Godfather.
Kill a Mockingbird.
Great.
One of my top 10 movies of all time.
Quick to the big finish.
Let's do
The
it.
Dolphins released Tyreek Hill and Bradley Chubb, among others, in a salary dump. Your thoughts?
It's going to save them like 30 mil. I'm not sure for the new regime. Not sure if either one can play anymore. Arizona lost to Texas Tech. Kansas to Iowa State. Bigger deal.
Arizona at home. Yeah. BYU lost guard Richie Saunders to a torn ACL. Big deal?
Yes, he was the second best player on a team of consequence to A.J. Devanza. And now what? Steve Cohen says there will never be a team captain as long as he owns the Mets. Does that matter?
beer into the dugout with the Padres.
With that group of veteran guys who seem very
Machado,
independent.
guys like that.
Machado, yeah.
Tatis.
Come on, just bring me one.
We're out of time. We'll try and do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, knuckleheads. And now, your Sports Center, even on a holiday, you got Sports Center.
Good show. We did a good show. Vote for us. Are we running?
Format for the last 15 years, which was junk. It was junk turning into garbage. That's what it had become, to the point where it embarrassed the commissioner. So, I like this. You know what, Tony? I'm like, I need to give this one more time. I'm going back to when the play-in came in. And I remember saying, let's wait and see on the play-in. I love the play-in more than anything, all right? And I like the urgency of this, to cut the number of minutes down for each thing. Everything should be shorter.
But it wasn't, they didn't cut it down.
48. They can cut it down some if they would. I like the fact that there was defense, that people played, particularly younger people like Wembanyama and Ant-Man said, hey, effort, tipped balls, defense, take a charge, deflection. I like all that part.
I'm not sold.
I don't want to overstate it, but
I'm not sold on it because it's a made-up game.
Yeah.
It's particularly made up when you have 3 teams in a round robin and you play a 12-minute game and move to the next game as if it's musical chairs. I didn't particularly like that. I like the idea of United States-born players against foreign-born players.
That.
I like that. I don't want it for 12 minutes.
40 minutes, one game.
Fine. But let's have it as a meaningful game because that is a natural rivalry.
Yes,
that
it is.
makes sense. That echoes the Olympics,
the league is
which
scared.
we find exciting.
The league is scared.
But this is what they have now is made up.
I can think of something made up that you just are neck deep in. The TGL. Talk about made up. A dome and some golf.
But I wouldn't. I like that, but I wouldn't put it out there as the All-Star game. Okay. I think what the NHL did with the Four Nations Cup works for the NHL.
It does.
But I think that the NBA could talk to the NHL and get some ideas.
A great product out there.
Yeah.
The truth is, the league is afraid of either an agent or 2 or 3 and a player.
Games other than the baseball All-Star game.
Nobody wants to really do it.
No, and the NFL realized this because that was junk.
And they got rid of it.
And they got rid of it.
And they tweaked this.
I think the NBA has one more shot at it. Play, and they say we're done.
This was better. We can agree on that.
I don't know. It didn't mean anything to me.
But better than the last 15 years?
They have been terrible. That's a low bar. Come on.
Low bar. Limbo, Harry Belafonte style under that bar. That's it. We're done. Think they get Harry Belafonte?
I remember Harry Belafonte.
Back to you.
Me and you are the only ones.